Yes, today we will have understanding that we experience the fraction of happiness when we come in contact with objects, people, relations outside. It is a fraction of happiness, of all permanent happiness in the world outside. Our experience of happiness in the world is mental, projected, and not the real happiness. Oh, that is why I'm so busy in the world. That is why I don't find the time to follow the Eastern wisdom. Look at it. Let us go a little deeper into it. Two words: happiness and peace. Happiness and peace. We all are seekers of happiness. You see that how the masters expand. So I have my own expression. We all are seekers of happiness. No one is spared. First, happiness, physical well being. We should not be sick, obviously. Body should be free from the illness, but sickness and the health are both dynamic states. Second, happiness, which at least need based desires are fulfilled. Need, hunger, clothes, food, shelter. So when the body is sick and we do not meet the basic needs, happiness and peace both are not there. It is not found. But the problem is, even if basic needs are fulfilled, we are not happy. So, absence of the basic needs which are not fulfilled causes the unhappiness. So, it doesn't mean that we should leave the journey of self discovery. Rare are the seekers who don't want to leave the journey, who doesn't leave the journey. They remain. No, no, I have to find it. Hmm? I have to find it. Fulfilling the needs or desire leads to happiness. I'm hungry, I eat my food, I become happy. Happiness is a feeling. Now, second line is very important. In dissolving that desire leads to peace. What it means? We all experience that, but we have a wrong and misunderstanding, and that is why the problem is there. Take an example of this darkness. Darkness is removed by light. Darkness is removed by light. So, dissolving that darkness or resolving that darkness results into peace. I did some action, it resulted into happiness, but dissolving, so resolved, I resolved. I cannot directly resolve the darkness. So that light is ignorance, delusion. You switch on the light, darkness goes away, is happiness. And at the same time, we become aware the darkness dissolves, disappears, is peace. But peace is our essential nature. But peace is our essential nature. Haha, look at it. But peace is our essential nature, and so the happiness is also our essential nature. Dissolving darkness is ignorance. Ignorance can be removed by discernment and dispassion. Means understanding. I have an understanding that this hunger gives, pasta gives me the pleasure. Now I discern and enter into the state of dispassion. I find happiness is coming from within. Happiness can be removed by removing the ignorance. That is one way to say it. Another way to say is that just understand clearly. Misunderstanding leads me to from one desire to another desire, leads me to another desire. First step. Now let us move to the second step. Desire fulfilled is not the solution. We have to understand this part very clearly. As one desire is fulfilled, another desire takes the shape. Our vice president had a desire to become a president. It is not fulfilled. So one desire is fulfilled, we move to the next desire. I have $1,000 today. I want $5,000 yes tomorrow. Do you see that? One desire, yes, it gives me the pleasure. But the second, I earn $1,000, desire to earn 5,000 starts in the mind. Happiness shifts its location in the world outside. Happiness always shifts its location outside. That is why I'm awfully busy. Otherwise, there is no question of being busy in the external world where the peace and happiness is not there. I'm very busy. I'm awfully busy, awfully. That is why you are awful. Happiness shifts its location that we don't understand. Fire of desire continues. Fire of desire. Instant happiness we feel, one desire is fulfilled, so we find another desire and we continue. But I explained to you, first thing, happiness. In that moment of happiness, I experience the peace. But now my peace depends on happiness that comes in contact with the object of the world, whether it's a person or a relationship or honey. You are calm in peace. You say, "How are you, honey?" Honey says, "You are crazy." Peace is gone. Do you see the relationship between peace and peace and happiness? Why that peace, mental conditioning, heavy conditioning, it is dependent on getting some happiness from the world outside. What is required? The entire transformation of the mind is required. That transformation is a state of meditation. This is what the master wants to convey the message. I'm still continuing with the 4 and 5 verses that we are of the nature of permanent happiness. We are still exploring that permanent happiness is my essential nature because it is happiness, hence there is a peace also. Then I said, that transformation, or you can say that understanding, is a meditative state. So I use the word transformation. We are transformed. From which to which? So we get an answer from the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. There are 5 causes of ignorance and suffering, means absence of peace and happiness. What are these 5 causes? Avidya. Avidya means the ignorance. I don't know myself. Because I don't know who I am, so because of the ignorance, I start working with the false I. I work with the false I. False I cannot exist without attachment and detachment. And attachment and detachment cannot exist without identification with the body. And when there is an identification with the body, I am the body, I continue to live in ignorance. I am the body. I need some sensation for peace and pleasure and happiness. So I eat pasta that gives me happiness. You drink coffee that gives you happiness, or third one, drink vodka that gives the happiness. So we are always running in contact with some object, some person. I marry and to be happy. I divorce to be happy. And that millions of thoughts, feeling, and emotions prevent me to believe, to prove that happiness is my essential nature. That keeps me all the time busy, every off. I You can correct my English, awful, roughly. So it demands a clear understanding. These 5 layers: ignorance becomes false I becomes attachment, detachment becomes identification with the body. As if, I am abhinivesh, the word is used. I'm sitting in the body. As long as I'm sitting in the body, I do not discern. It will constantly jump. Mind will jump outside. If it doesn't jump, there is no distraction. There is no distraction. The mind is very clear. When the mind is clear, it reveals happiness within. This is what the master. It demands only understanding. You know, for avidya, ignorance, you can do any practice, it will not help. False eye, how can you remove it, false eye? You have to understand. Attachment and detachment, understanding is required. Identification with the body, you see, understanding is required. He tells in the very first chapter, this master, and we keep on doing. I'm how long I do the headstand for 2 hours. That is why you are. I don't want to say because it is the same profession. That is why you are insane, because the blood in rushes, and that time you are thinking of something crazy stuff, it takes another direction, and then you have a problem. But because of habit, because of conditioning, because of the false I say, okay, peace and happiness are with me. Yes, you feel happy, no doubt. Blood in rushes, blood flow in rushes to the brain, it calms down once you return. and then you are craving for it again. Have you ever thought, focus on the desire to be fulfilled? So it is a desire fulfillment. It is not a self fulfillment. So once I have a desire fulfillment, no doubt I have a moment of peace. We agree, all masters agree to that. But that momentary peace dissolves because the mind says, now what is the next desire? What is meditation? Self fulfillment, desire fulfillment. That you can apply in every thought, speech, and action. When? Anytime, anywhere, any location. And you will find this mind retrieves its steps, it stops the desire fulfillment from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. But understand, when desire is fulfilled, you experience the happiness. Just after the happiness, mind is aware that one issue is resolved. I experience the peace. The only problem, it doesn't mean that I should not eat pasta if I like it. Yes, eat it. But with an understanding, with an awareness, that is the meaning of living in a moment. That is mindfulness. That is mindfulness. I have spoken a particular sentence, fulfillment, finished. Finished. Next statement, finished. You are living in a moment. Third, finished. Fourth is finished. Session is gone, finished. We are living in a moment. Is it possible? I have to live in an extraordinary awareness. How it comes by constant listening and learning, contemplation, reflection. And in the beginning, obviously, you are doing the practice. Let us go a little deeper, only step by step. I am happy eating pasta. I cannot be happy. Go back. Take the mind back. So now I'm using the same mind. I cannot be happy eating pasta if I don't like pasta. Are you sure? Yes. That is a fact. And if that is a fact, that like, you see, Patanjali, how beautiful, such a genius. So go from the backward. Sensation of pleasure, taste of eating pasta, that is the fifth cause of our ignorance, identification with the body. Then only I have a feeling of eating pasta. Does the cow has a feeling of eating pasta? No. Tiger? No. Do you see that? Now that identification triggered the mind. Oh, mind says, I like pasta, so I will be happy eating. But who is this I? False I. But from where the false I has come? Avidya, ignorance. And I'm constantly subjected by not one issue, not one thought. Millions of the thoughts that we have conditioned our mind since our birth. Can the understanding take place today only? Yes, it can. Otherwise, the knowledge is realized in stages. Seed does not become a tree overnight. So I'm constantly reflecting. I have an understanding. Understanding means what it is, an awareness. And then one day I wake up in the morning and I live into that awareness, awakening. Or you contemplate and reflect. You sit down every day and you contemplate, reflect. And yeah, yes, I got it. I got it. What you got it, it is a perception of the third eye. I don't want to go into the explanation of the third eye. I have explained many a times. Understand this clearly. Im- Understand this clearly. Once these five stages, so Patanjali made it very clear, step by step, as if we are the beginner. But this master says, no, permanent happiness. That is your nature. Please understand that. We are searching happiness. Happiness is our essential nature because it is the essence, it is the essential nature. It is always there, it is present 24 by 7. Is it possible? My mind says, I am happy eating pasta. Very good. You continue eating pasta and become aware of that happiness. Possible. It is possible. Master doesn't say that leave everything in the world and then devote your 24 hours in searching that. You cannot do it. Nobody has done it. No one can do it. But it doesn't mean that I cannot take this understanding in my daily life, daily thought, daily speech, daily action. Business, yes. Yes, I'm present there. Talking to honey, I'm present there. Talking to kids, I'm present there. I'm eating pasta, it is present. It is possible to take it, not the other way around. See, so our master in the very beginning, it declares that I'm of the nature of the real self. Prove it. How can you prove it? Removing these 5 layers. See that? So what will happen? Happiness comes from within, and that will help the mind to realize peace is also coming from within. How? Removing ignorance. So, in one way, you can say that we have to educate the mind. We have to educate the mind through the Eastern wisdom that will help me prove that I am of the nature of the real self. So, what about I'm doing business, I'm engaged in my. Keep on doing it. Any action, any thought pertaining to the worldly activities has a beginning and has an end. Oh, I worked 8 hours in the office, yes. I eat pasta, it will take another 10 minutes. I'm talking to the honey, I'm on the call. So, all these activities are known as the goals in life. To make it very clear, goals in life: career, profession, earning money, eating pasta, sleeping, waking up, dreaming, putting the clothes into the laundry, fighting with someone, reacting. All these are. It has a beginning, it has an end. So, should I stop doing it? No. That is why we have a body, mind. But behind that, there is a goal of life. That is of the nature of real self, that is consciousness. That is what we are discovering in this session, we are understanding in this system. And that is why I said sometime it is good to contemplate the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamaduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam. I created an acronym, wholeness. Prove it. Second line, harmony. Prove it. Think it over. How, why, where, and when. I'm not explaining you. We have already an explanation of this in a couple of sessions. Oneness. Oneness. WHO. Oh, oneness. Think it over. Contemplate and prove it. Limitedness. Prove it. You feel that, I'm limited because I'm sitting here, you are there. So prove it that you are limited. And if you can't prove it, you are unlimited. Do you see limitedness? Because of the body identification, because of the likes and dislikes, because of the false I, because of the ignorance. Otherwise, the consciousness is all pervading. Here and now. Do you see that? I have to empower again and again this mind. That's another way. You empower the mind, you are moving into this journey. So this master begins to reveal the positive attribute of the self. The false I keeps the positive and negative, likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure. If I eat pasta, I'll be happy. I gave you an example. If I don't eat, I'll be upset. So here the master that I have already discussed, that all love is directed ultimately to myself. Simple logic. I have to apply this logic again and again and then check how the mind behaves. I love you only because I love myself. I eat pasta because it gives me happiness to myself, so I love myself. How easy. I will trim my beard, look smart. Why? Because of myself. Find out. Find out. We don't love anyone in the world. We don't love anyone in the world. That love directed to myself. Once does it mean that I should leave loving anyone in the world? Yes, that your love is conditional love. Your love is attachment. It's better to drop it. Better to drop it. I know you'll have a question. So, because once you drop the attachment, then only the unconditional love will manifest. Did you understand the previous points? And if you have understood the previous point, now you can easily understood what the master is saying in the 11th verse, which I have discussed previously also, but now you have a different way of understanding. If that is known, if it is not known, or if it is known, if I know that happiness, permanent happiness, and manifest into the peace, if I know it, it is within me. I am. Can you have any desire outside? Desire fulfillment? No. So will you not act? Yes, I will act. I did not understand. Elon Musk started car company. He started selling Tesla. What was the first motivation? Feed myself. Let me become. So should he stop selling Tesla car now? No. So we reach to a state of maturity where our desire fulfillment has no meaning at all now. So he is giving an employment to thousands of people or any company for that matter. Your mind reaches to that stage of maturity. And if you start, every action is for others, for the service of others. Mind will never have a desire for whatever the business you're doing, whatever the actions you're doing. You change your thought pattern. You start thinking in this way. Randy is teaching her students, let the students evolve. I get rid of the limited idea of earning wealth to feed myself. That is why I'm teaching. I'm just explaining in a different way. If it is known, peace and happiness, so what can it be known now instead of becoming Elon Musk? Yes, it is possible. Is it not possible? Yes, it is 100% possible. And if not known, there is no supreme, there is no permanent happiness. Because I don't know permanent happiness. Obviously, then I will start keep running. Desire fulfillment will continue to be there. And as long as the desire fulfillment is there, the permanent peace and happiness will not be there. I'll remain fully busy. And fully busy, we will enter into the stress, anxiety, duality, conflict. And that is because of the ignorance, my friend. Think of it. Think of it. I'm not saying that simply believe it, prove it. And in the next verse, he says, like the sun. I have already given you an example of the sun and the 50 students. He is one out of the 50 people are singing. And so he is listening, but he knows that my son is singing. I know that happiness I experience inside. What I don't know, whether that happiness is coming from the world of objects, people, relations, or it is manifestation with. Why? Because I have millions of objects, people, and relationship where my mind has accumulated the impression that they are responsible for my peace and happiness. Known, not known. Known and not known. So one approach is there. You become, you might think that I always criticize Elon Musk. So I was reading one news today in the morning. I never go in. I just opened the website and I saw. So Elon Musk picked up a 5-year-old girl, perhaps who lost her mother, and they found it. So there is also a possibility that you reach to that height with lot of stress and anxiety, and then the outer situation also can change you. But that is not our topic. I just picked up that. So now you see that it is not pain is not the obstacle. The mind accumulated with the impressions that I am getting happiness from the people, world, relationship, my waking state, my dream state, my sleep state, my clothes. I shave my head so I look, no, not head, head is already shaved. My beard, then I will be happy. They cause a trigger continuously in my head. So if I don't get out of this trigger, how? By recognizing it, not controlling it. If you control, it will burst out. By understanding, every time a thought comes seeking the happiness outside, I reflect on it and I recognize. So then in the next verse, the master says, this is an obstruction. How can you define the obstruction? That is the beauty of this master. Now he defines the obstruction. He says obstruction is defined as that which denies the experience permanent happiness. It denies the experience of permanent happiness inside. It accepts that true happiness lies outside. Two facets. Look at it. Same thing. So he gave an example of 50 students and one student is his son. It exists. It exists. It is revealed in objects of everyday use. That is the cause of my instruction. Who cares? I will join the session after 2 months. Obstruction. I'm not clear in my head. I'm not clear. Just look at the deeper understanding. So my mind produced an experience of happiness which is opposite of permanent happiness located within me. I am of the nature, but that short term happiness is located outside, so it is an opposite, outer and inner. It can happen in any object, it can happen in every moment in your life, it can happen when you are communicating, when you are doing some business. So the master is saying obstruction, recognize the obstruction. First, it denies. First, it denies that I am of the nature of permanent happiness. I made it very clear. But because it denies, so where the mind is going? Because of the ignorance, it is running after the world. So when it is running, so not only one thought at one time eating pasta, when while eating pasta, you have other impressions also. They will pop up. When you are driving to your, I will come back again unnecessarily. There may be another kind of happiness. Here, honey also liked the pasta, and honey started appreciating you. Falsai has taken over. I will bring you back, honey, because she liked what I like. Every moment you have millions of those thoughts of desire fulfillment. If I recognize that desire of fulfillment, recognize means I understand. Understanding means I'm aware. Aware means now happiness is not there. Finished. So, should I stop eating pasta? I told you. No. I'm eating pasta. That is the master is explaining in the 14th verse. Cause of the obstruction, of not listening his son singing because of the 49. students, I explained you by examples. So those 49 distractions I have, I enjoy being distracted. And then I go to the teacher of the Eastern wisdom or a mindfulness teacher. My mind is crazy. My mind is distracted. Please guide me, meditation. Do you see that? I don't want to stop seeking the pleasure outside. So I have millions of the thoughts, and then I approach the teacher. Please help me control. I want to control my mind. But I want to keep those likes. Dislike. Come on. Can that ever be possible? Do you see the obstruction? Do you see the ignorance part of it? Do you see the delusion part of it? What is that delusion? I approach you. You are a great meditation teacher. Please help me. I have lot of thoughts. My mind is crazy. Can you give me peace? Obviously, you do breathing and om shanti. Shanti. You can get it, but otherwise, the again you come back. Again, I go back to you and I say, no, it was very good, when I did the practice. But after an hour, my mind started again. As a teacher, you should say, did I do that distraction? Understand this clearly, that ignorance part. The entire Eastern wisdom talks of ignorance and delusion and impurities of the. Understand it clearly. Why to understand? So that you are aware all the time, the moment you wake up in the morning until you retire to the bed. Those 49 students are coming back again and again, 49 multiplied by 49, multiplied by 49. You have sub desires. And it creates such a beginningless, beginningless ignorance. Dude, can you recognize it easily? When you recognize it easily, oh, you will see you are totally relaxed and calm. I can bet you are hungry, you'll be feel calm. You'll have a pain in the body, but you will feel that peace inside. That is the power. It is not only the relaxation and calmness, close your eyes, focus on the breath. No, it is something deeper. You recognize, you realize, my goodness, what an extraordinary something has taken over my body, mind, intellect, ego, thought, feeling, action. Why I said extraordinary awareness has taken over, 49 students have gone. 49 students have gone. When it can happen here and now. So how to simplify it? We have a mind projection. Projection of the mind, delusion in the mind, ignorance in the mind, attachment in the mind. Understand in any way that you want to understand. Even the attachment contains all the three. What are all the three? Ignorance, delusion, and projection. Projection contains all the three. I like pasta. Why? Because it gives me happiness. So I have already projected happiness there. But why I have projected happiness? Does the pasta contain the property of happiness? No. So it is a delusion. It is an ignorance. It is an attachment. So our master uses different words to help us to understand what is the solution. Solution is the self-knowledge. Self-knowledge means what is the how to get this self. Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that will help you to remove the ignorance. Ignorance that I don't know that I am the real self. Knowledge means now I know that I am the real self. In between, we have lot of challenges. What are those challenges? Obstruction. What is obstruction? Obstruction denies an experience that I'm the real self. It accepts the experience first that gives me happiness. Do you see both? They two are different things. At the level of understanding, they are two different things. Oh, so these two combined together, we have projection, we have illusion, we have ignorance, we have attachment. Self knowledge is the solution. And that results into what is known as that results into awakening. But then, can we have a detailed understanding of this world outside? What exactly, how the world outside, if some student, some seeker may say, it is the world that makes me crazy. We always say that. It is so, okay. Does the world has a capacity and a power to make me crazy? We can definitely say intellectually, no, 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 but we have to understand it again. So we have to understand that why our mind believes that, and why it feels that the world makes me crazy. Outside world, people, money, anyone. No one who are married or who were previously married cannot, or who had a soulmate, cannot say with 100% in an authentic way that you were never disturbed by your honey at one time in any location in one issue or the other. Why? Happiness is not there. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. And yes, eyes are closed. And here, let us go. You're comfortable. You're comfortable. So, being comfortable, that comfort is an indication of the peace. But before that, what I said, eyes are closed. Then what I said, look at the head, the neck joint. Feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That gives you, that triggers the mind. Oh, yes, that is really a good idea. You asked me to eyes are closed. It is already present. But the mind, because of false identification, we have to follow this process. But it is, so it means teacher is teaching wrongly, yes. But why the teacher is teaching wrongly? Because your mind is wrong. The mind is obsessed with the false I, so teacher also teaches the wrong thing, so that the false I can be cut by another false I. Otherwise, no, look, just look at the shoulder joints. First thing, your mind is outside. Outside, there is no permanent happiness, but our mind, because of the impressions and the impurities and the projection and the delusion, agrees to it that I'm doing meditation. But the fact is somewhat different. But we have to use it. because the mind likes, look at the uh, shoulder joints. Then I say, look deep inside. You see everything. If you analyze and observe and understand, and then I suddenly say, experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. But you were looking at the shoulder joint. Then I say, no, you are moving the mind in the opposite direction. You were looking at the world outside with millions of distractions, but now you are looking within you. But you are not looking in you, you are looking at the body. Oh, that's a good beginning. From the world outside to the body, from the body to the breath, to the mind, to the intellect. You see, that is why it is taking a lot of time, because of lot of projections and hmm, ignorance and delusion. Look at the entire body. Let us follow that process only. Look at the entire body. I'm aware of the body, yes. That is the meaning of your looking, yes. Do I feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness? Yes, I feel. Little bit in some part of the body. You see, mind in ignorance. The mind is not keeping its goal that I have to find the real self. So, engaging the mind, empowering the mind, educating the mind continuously at work in any meditation practice. Any teacher gives you any practice. You can definitely analyze and observe and understand. So, we have sensation, comfort, and steadiness. But now we are searching happiness. So, yes, I feel a kind of calmness. Before the peace, there is a calmness. Before the calmness, there is a stillness. That's another topic, but I'm just practically saying. So that is why we lay an importance to have a stillness in the body, and that makes my mind, that puts my mind into a greater awareness or a higher awareness. Then I experience the calmness and ultimately I experience the peace. And the peace comes because the happiness is already within us. First time, first time. Our experience of peace and happiness, independent of any object, any person, anything outside. So, what happens when you have that understanding, your identification with the body drops. How by understanding? You cannot de-identify with the body by cutting the body. No, by knowledge. That's fold of knowledge. Cuts the identification, the first one, and then we go up attachment and detachment. Now attachment remains as it is without dictating the mind. That is detachment. And detachment remains detachment as a memory, maybe as an experience in the mind, but at this moment, it is not dictating. Why? Not dictating means those 49 students. Oh, that is an obstruction. It is not dictating. So I'm clear. Okay, it is not dictating. Then what? Live into that state and see the mind is settled in itself. How to see it? Many thoughts are there, but no thought belongs to you. Do you see how we have been practicing being carefree? So now you are carefree with that deeper understanding. So that is why another master who says, Yadi deham prathakratya chiti vishramya tishtasi. If through understanding, through awareness, we de identify the body and allow the mind to settle in itself, means which denies the experience of permanent happiness, is dropped. I don't pay any attention to it. They are not me, they are not mine. Any thought, any feeling, good, bad, high, low. The mind is settled. Then what Master says, Adhunaiva sukhi shantah bandha mukto bhavishyasi. Adhunaiv. Master says, here and now, you are happy, independent of anything outside, and that happiness leads to experience of peace within. And if we continue, the Master says in the fourth part of this verse, Adhunaiva sukhi shantah bandhamukto bhavishyasi. Bandhamukto. Ignorance is gone. Where that ignorance, this Master explains the abstraction twofold. Just I'm reminding you so that you are aware of it. The moment you are aware, oh, it will take you to a higher level. Our experience of happiness in the world is mental. Then I said projected. Then I said not the real happiness. Different ways to express. Why? To help your mind realize that. Yes, one more thing that I can pick up. That is the inherent defects of the world that is reflected in the mind causes the problem. So that we will understand more clearly in our relaxation. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. Now, how are you, Steve?
Good, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate the topic. I think I'm gaining a greater understanding of it. What what I've been contemplating and reflecting on in regards to these Saturday sessions is the idea of the fact that I know the mind is the problem, and we always talked about, who's in control of the mind. Am I allowing the mind to control me, or am I going to control the mind? So with this topic, I've started contemplating, reflecting on the awfully busy, the time element, not only for myself, but in watching the reactions of other people around me that seem to have an effect on me. And so I try to raise this. I'm in this 1 month of experimenting. I'm trying to raise my level of awareness of where is the mind going in the different moments, and understanding that peace and happiness is here, that I don't get it from somewhere else. So when you talk about pasta, yes, I like pasta too. That's a preference. I'm not getting the happiness out of the pasta. It's just, it's a means of satisfying a necessity in the moment. But it could be a choice of one or the other, of what I prefer at the time, without the happiness. And then I started thinking about, the moments of meditation, of we're finding that peace and happiness because we're you're allowing us to, we're distracting from the mind of what that's talking about. So in my 1 month experiment, I'm trying to control my mind to sit and say, stop with this timepiece. I don't care what we have to do next. I don't care what is tomorrow. I don't have to worry about that. And I keep, in my mind, when I'm cooking, I'm not worried about the next thing. And I bring my mind back to it. And I'm finding the peace and happiness. So this is all making sense. It's just a matter of how to talk to that mind. Um, and I'll just keep going through the contemplation and reflection in this. So as far as when we closed our eyes, I was just completely settled into the moment. um and then I just repeated to myself, was like, oh, living in the moment, and just thinking about how all of this applies, that if I could just get the mind to stay in the moment, we're heading in the right direction. So thank you.
Beautifully summarized. And yes, we can definitely say during the day when the mind is crazy, stop this, awareness of that moment, what I'm doing, and you will discover that the mind wants to do multiple things at the same time. We enjoy by declaring it, oh, I'm very adept in multitasking. That is craziness. I'm still looking at you, I'm still talking to you, I'm still sitting in a chair, I'm still looking at the computer. Is it not multitasking? So can the multitasking can happen in that moment of awareness? Answer is yes, it can happen. But multitasking outside, or mind is running at five things outside by only one awareness, one consciousness. That is what we need to do. But I appreciate that you are putting your life subjected to experimentation. At least we will remember. I forget that experiment now, let me return back. It will definitely help a great deal. Beautiful. Thank you. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the lesson. I was thinking about this desire topic, and the metaphor came to my mind that we live in a cage made of desires,
Yeah,
and every desire limits me and takes my freedom away, and it only appears that desire fulfillment gives happiness, while in fact it is false happiness and a very short-lived that again binds me with craving for repeating this happiness and so on. And at the same time, the mind deceives me into believing that these desires are mine, while in fact, every desire is a result of my past actions, past karma, past impressions,
beautiful.
my that past I that no longer exists, and it pushes me uh, it is dead long ago, and it still pushes me to fulfill something that comes from the past. So in summary, I'm being driven by desires that are not even mine, and this way of thinking greatly discourages from following the desires blindly and encourages awareness. Thank you.
That is the obstruction. That is the obstruction. So we have a wonderful metaphor, I think, told by one master who says that we are living in a golden cage and we don't realize that after all it is still a cage, whether it is golden or iron cage. Do you see, just see the those explanations and interpretations that it's a cage. So some people give more importance to the cage. I want to get rid of the cage, not the golden. We all are living in a golden cage. It's a beautiful way to put it. And yes, whether ultimately it is the result of my past karma, everything. And once I have clarity about this, you are in peace and happiness. Beautifully said, Dennis. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I'm with Stephen and Dennis. I'm still exploring the ways that I get trapped by my own mind, my own stuff, you know. But my meditation was good today. It was calm and focused and peaceful. Thank you.
Good. So you have three teachers. One is me, other is Stephen, third is Dennis. So you have to listen to it again and again and see which way the mind wants to go. Anyway, what I explained today, or Stephen or Dennis, both anyway will take you there. Good. How are you, Vaibhav? Ashok, I don't see you.
Mind is calm, sir. Practice was good. It's like it's absorbed.
It is absorbed. Yes, yes. I have yet to talk about what is this self-absorption. But yes, that is good. How are you, Teddy?
I don't know what to say.
Don't
I,
say
okay.
if you don't want to, but still you want to say anything, so you can say
No,
it. Yes. So you don't want to say it means mind seems to be empty and clear. So let it remain empty and clear. So in our next lesson, we will discuss that The master talks about, I have to come back to this topic again. I hope I will remember that. What are the inherent defects of the word? Is there any defect in the word? Answer is no. But the way the mind perceives, it causes the inherent defect. That is an obstruction. That is the ignorance. That is the projection. That is the delusion. That is the attachment, and that causes the problem. So I see as if the defect is present in the word, but it is present here. So we will discuss about it next week. Thank you very much. We will meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No, there is some issue with
Yeah,
my
yes, do a bigger namaste, Ashok, because now I have long beard.
सर मेरा कैमरे में इशू है कुछ
Ah?
कैमरे में सर कुछ इशू है कैमरा नहीं ओपन हो रहा है
Okay. He is not able to open the camera. How can he see my beard?
नहीं आई एम